The Home Secretary's newly announced asylum policy has been met with a chorus of concern from senior MPs who argue that it substitutes performance for principle. Steve Witherden MP notes that a stagnating economy and widening inequality will not be remedied by casting vulnerable people as political scapegoats. Adnan Hussain MP cautions that performative cruelty will never stem the movement of people whose lives have become untenable, while Olivia Blake MP warns that the proposals risk generating 1.4 million additional review cases by 2035 at a cost exceeding £870 million, bureaucracy without benefit. Jeremy Corbyn MP highlights the real domestic pressures, child poverty, soaring rents, and the consequences of prolonged privatisation, while Richard Bergen MP argues that harsh rhetoric distracts from the profound structural inequities affecting British households. Taken together, these interventions reveal a policy shaped more by spectacle than by a sober assessment of global realities. Understanding today's rise in asylum claims requires looking beyond Britain's borders. For 2 decades, the UK and its allies undertook extensive interventions across the Middle East and South Asia, with Afghanistan serving as the clearest illustration. Despite repeated assurances of state building, the international mission largely became a prolonged war against the Taliban, while vast sums flowed through networks of warlords and corrupt intermediaries. When the United States and NATO confirmed their withdrawal, the Afghan government collapsed within hours and the very same Taliban returned to power, an outcome that exposed just how fragile the post-2001 order had been. After 20 years of conflict, hundreds of billions in spending, and an immense human cost, Afghanistan was left with deepened poverty, limited employment prospects, and widespread displacement. In the years since, the UK and its partners have withheld recognition, restricted the Afghan banking system, and reduced development support, making economic recovery far more difficult for ordinary Afghans striving to rebuild their lives. These international legacies are intertwined with challenges inside the UK itself. The Afghan and wider refugee diaspora includes highly qualified engineers, IT specialists, health professionals, and academics, yet many struggle to secure roles that reflect their training. One Afghan IT professional, for instance, described being directed by job centre staff toward cleaning work, an illustration of how talent is too often left underused at a moment when the UK faces genuine shortages in technology, healthcare, construction and public services. A wiser and more productive strategy would not only welcome skilled refugees into meaningful employment but would also cultivate economic partnerships with their countries of origin. Supporting job creation, easing unnecessary financial restrictions, and enabling diaspora communities to contribute both to the UK and to their homelands would strengthen stability, reduce future displacement, and build long-term resilience. The Home Secretary's approach, however, turns away from such constructive pathways. It leans on deterrence rather than understanding, and on administrative obstacles rather than international engagement. A more credible and principled policy would recognize that migration flows do not arise in a vacuum. They are shaped by wars, withdrawals, economic crises, and decisions made on the global stage, many of them involving Britain itself. By working collaboratively with the governments and societies from which asylum seekers come, supporting economic recovery abroad, and enabling skilled newcomers to contribute fully at home, the UK could replace short-term political theatre with long-term solutions grounded in responsibility and mutual benefit. A forward-looking asylum policy should neither punish despair nor ignore history. It should reflect the confidence, fairness, and international maturity that Britain has long aspired to uphold.